M0FXB, welcome back to my videos on the Ailunce H1, the new model, and the Anytone 878. Now this is the Mark II model that has APRS receive and transmit. It also has that quite cool satellite feature, but let's just turn this up a minute. These are about 230 now, 230. These are about 170 pounds. Turn it up, just so you can hear that DMR works fine on both when someone speaks. Now, I haven't actually loaded the CSV file onto the H1 yet, but it does have talk ALIF. So I'm just going to disconnect the code plug because, sorry, the hotspot, because if it's on, then the screens get sort of blasted with the information. So I'm just going to show you the basic, just going to show you the basics of these two radios. So they both have a dedicated power on and volume button. Now, when I turn the volume up and down on the H1, there's no slider, but there is on the 878. You've got channel change here on both, and you can see that's working. You can customize the colors on both of these. See the GPS there? We did have a lot, but you've got your little GPS logos there, and see the red speaker. That is actually your digi monitor. So when you go to menu, and then we'll go down. You've got your GPS there, settings, and you go down again, APRS, and it is APRS on analog and digital. Okay, so there's lots of settings in there for that. NOAA weather channels and FM radio, okay, which I know both of these do. Full keypad. Now please correct me if I make a mistake, because when I'm remembering what radios do, I do make mistakes. I'm sorry. So Bluetooth, yes, Bluetooth with this, and Bluetooth audio, even Bluetooth PTT. You've not got that with this device here. Full keypad, full alphabet, which, it's funny I say that, but it does make a difference having an alphabet. You can have the day-night, which the day sort of image, which is like a white background, and they call it the night image, which is black background. Programming cables look the same, and let me think now. No, they are the same programming cable for both, and they're not expensive. £7 on the side here. You've got, try to get myself out of the light so you can see, like that, programmable button top and bottom. Quite a unique sort of styling they've done. They've definitely gone for a new style with the H1, and there you are, 2 programmable buttons and PTT, big belt clip, and that, both of them nice, really loud speakers, 2,900 milliamp hour battery, and USB-C charging of the actual battery on both of these ones. Now, many of you won't have the USB on the battery, but I bought the extra battery because it was only £30, and I had a battery that had USB-C going into it, and I use it all the time. So they both will do VHF, UHF. I'm finding this one actually transmits on PMR, airband, and GMRS. Now I don't know if that's actually legal to do that, but on my testing it does. Not sure about the 878 if it does that. Now, if we're talking code plugs, software that you can borrow from people, there's going to be a lot more software out there available for the 878, because it's been around since the 868, and loads of people have shared code plugs. So why is that good? Because they can send it you can add your call sign, your DMR number, load it to the radio, and suddenly you've got hundreds and hundreds of stations ready to go, even APRS settings. And so that's a massive plus. They've both got the sort of top button on the top and the LED. So it's a very clear attempt by Ailunce to make a radio as similar to the 878 as possible. Fair enough. I feel like, we've just got this, and one thing I will say is that the software looks quite simple on the H1, although DMR can only ever be so simple because you need color codes, you need time slots, you need talk groups, then you need the frequencies. So it can only ever be so simple. But if I just quickly show you, and it's not the clearest image, but one line, look, there's my hotspot, frequency, simplex, digital, and then it's the contact there. Now when we click this little square, it opens up to a bigger window, and in this window, of course, you get the name, the frequency, but you can also start adding your contacts, your time slots, your color code, all that kind of stuff as well. So I feel like it's quite a simple software to use. But if you don't understand how DMR ticks, it's never going to be simple, because DMR is not putting a CT/CSS. Put in your CT/CSS and your shift, and you're talking. It needs those parameters. But if you borrow a code plug from a friend, that's all been done for you. Then you just put in your DMR ID, and you just put in DMR registration into Chrome, and you will be able to register. You might as well open an account with a thing called Brandmeister, which probably doesn't mean much to you. Brandmeister is almost like, let's call it the computer that is, or one of the computers, giant computers, that is housing all the talk groups that you're all talking in. And that looks like this. And I'll put the links in, Brandmeister, and just put yourself, once you've created the account, click self-care. I know I'm doing this with my phone. Self-care. And then at the bottom here, put a password in here. And you need that when you're using the Pi-Star system. Pi-Star is the software that is controlling your hotspot, which look like these things. They're not expensive, £40 to get a hotspot. Or you might be, you might go, well, I've got a repeater near me, I'd rather use that, real radio, as they say. Fair enough. So yeah, but otherwise, they're both nice sets. I'm not going to choose which one I'd rather have, because I don't think that's fair on the manufacturers to slate any product, really. I think just let the slaters do the slating. I'd rather just use it, and then you let people decide for themselves, and I won't be smashing it up with a hammer. So all right then, bye for now, 7-3.